Tuko na mdomo kama wewe. Ukileta tunaleta. Ukichoma tunachoma. And also inchi hii wacha niseme mimi na kama wamejama wanaweza bust. Your Excellency, forgive me. This is the only country that someone takes to social media. Anatengeza hapo kaburi alafu anaombea viongozi mabaya. Na unataka tukuangalie? Ama wewe unakaa hapo, you've become an expert of everything. Everything. Now let me tell you why I have decided to respond to you. Because we go out there, Your Excellency. The last time I was with you in New York, mimi nilipanga wawekezaji kwa room. And 90% of the questions kuhusu kuwekeza katika Kenya were informed by some busy body participation on social media. Tandao tu. Mtu anasema, oh, hii Kenya imezama. Kama umezama ni wewe, my friend. Kenya inasonga. Kenya inasonga. Kama umezama nani? Wewe. Na mimi nawaambia nyinyi kuweni kwa mtandao, sisi tuko kwa ground. Tuko kwa ground mbaya sana. Na ukituletea noma hapa ndio headquarter. Si namna hiyo? Wakileta noma, wakileta mbaya, wakileta noma, wakileta mbaya. Lakini mimi nataka niwaombe wa Kenya tuwe wazalendo. We must love our country. Hatuwezi kuwa na Kenya mbili. Na alafu unajua saa hii majukumu yako kwa viongozi ambao wako mamlakani. Tumeelewana? Now there's only one way to unseat a leader who's democratically elected. Iko njia mo? Na njia ni nini? Kura, sio? You will not remove this government using social media.
Ni mbaya sana. Hii ni mambo ya kufungia mtu mmoja. Hii ni state capture. Sijui nini. Iko kwa record ya bunge. Hata kama yeye ni waziri sahi hawezi kuruka. Alisema hivyo. Baadaye tukagundua kumbe mambo ni tofauti. Kumbe hiyo ilikuwa inasaidia ili watu waweke watengeneze viwanda mingi ya kutengeneza clinker. Watu wengi wameapply sasa kufanya kazi ya clinker. Mambo ya kutoa clinker huko ngambo ikakwisha. Sasa unajua kuelewa mambo ni hivyo polepole. Saa nyingine unapinga kitu na inakuja polepole. Ya leo hii hatutapinga kwa sababu naona ni kitu mzuri pia. Hatutaki kuingia kwa hiyo mtego ile tuliingia ya kwanza ya clinker. But Your Excellency, what I want to say is that huko bunge sisi tutaunga mkono mambo ambayo yatapeleka nchi mbele. Na mimi nataka kuhimiza wananchi ya kwamba sisi tumechaguliwa kama wabunge, tuko na akili. Na tumesoma na tunajua. Hatuwezi kuwa tunakubali mambo ambayo yanadhuru wananchi. Lakini hatuwezi pia kusema ushuru yoyote ambayo iko katika nchi yetu ni ushuru mbaya. Lazima tutofautishe gani mzuri, gani mbaya. But if we generalize everything and we say all taxations are bad, then tufunge nchi. Kila mtu sasa aende kazi yake ingine, alime shamba yake, kila mtu afanye angalie kondoo yake, ngamia yake, kila mtu afanye kazi yake. Hakuna haja sasa ya kukua na nchi. Sasa hii nchi yetu imekuwa katika shida. And we must accept ya kwamba even though mimi nilikuwa nataka baba yangu akuwe rais, lakini kaenda hivyo hivyo. Nchi ilikuwa katika hali ngumu. Your Excellency, when you took over, deni zilikuwa nyingi. Mambo ilikuwa mazito. Watu ya upinzani kama sisi tulikuwa tunangojea na tumetarejea kwa muda mrefu mpaka sasa imekuwa after broad base sasa ikachelewa ya kwamba mtashindwa kulipa hii deni. When are you going to default? Not if. We knew this was they are going to default. When they default, sasa tuko na hawa bega kwa bega. Tuambia si wameshindwa na kazi. Sasa Mheshimiwa Rais, congratulations. Umejikakamua mpaka leo. Naona mambo inaenda hivi tu. Vizuri kabisa. So sisi tunaunga mkono kwa kazi nzuri, na uchumi vile mimi naona sasa vile deni inalipwa na policies ambayo umeweka ya macroeconomics ambayo zinasaidia nchi, naona hapa mbele kuna nuru, hapa mbele hakuna giza. Na ile wale watu ambaye unajua sisi pia tulileta kwa serikali experts kali sana, your excellency, tunaita wa experts huko ODM, wanaitwa experts, wana ujuzi tofauti tofauti, wengine wana ujuzi zaidi hata ya kibinadamu nyingine hatari, chungana na hawa. Lakini ni ma experts ambaye tumesema wakilishe wananchi, wasaidie wananchi, na sisi tutahakikisha ya kwamba katika bunge, mimi ndio sasa kiongozi huko, tutahakikisha tutafanya mambo yote ambaye itapeleka nchi yetu mbele. Na tusiwe nchi ya kulalamika peke yake, kwa sababu mimi nina uhuru ya kusema chochote mimi nataka kusema. Huwezi kufunga mdomo yangu. Jana nimeongea hapa Taita Taveta, naona wengine wananirukia, bana, mdomo ni yangu, siasa ni yangu. Wakati tuliingia wamama vile wanavaa, waliambia wamama walisema my dress my choice. Mimi pia nasema my politics my choice. Huwezi kunilazimisha vile mimi nataka kwenda.
Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I go by the name Roman Rolls on all social media platforms, as you can see on your screens right now. It's a beautiful day, but it gets crazy and crazy in this political scene in this country. And today, Mr. Ruto, Mr. Must Go, was with his crazy conglomerate in Taita Taveta, and a man like alias and Joho and Junet, who's supposed to be the minority leader, the leader of opposition in the parliament of this country, is in line with the government right now. He's following the president. You'll think he's the deputy president. This is crazy. I've never seen such a thing, but I believe we have to stand up as Kenyans to focus. Let's fight all this, because this is unseen. It has never been seen before. It's so obscene that we are getting to, observe such incidents where the minority leader, the leader of opposition, is with the government everywhere they go, and it's unfortunate because they are the ones supposed to check this government in terms of check and balances on whatever they are doing. But right now, they are following these crooks everywhere they are going, singing the same song from the same sheet, and it's so unfortunate. But I believe we are going to stand for ourselves, and we'll support the leaders who will have the same ideology with us in terms of changing this country come 2027. You've just heard how alias and Joho was talking in terms of inciting Kenyans against those who are talking about this government wrongdoing, and people have the rights to talk, so you can't come out saying that people shouldn't talk about the wrongdoings of this government. People have to criticize you. You might like it, you might not like it, but that's the fact, and the constitution provides that. So I believe these guys will be smoked come 2027. They usually pay people to come to these funny road shows, meetings or campaigns, and for today it was a launch of DevKey's steel company. But I believe despite of the small things they are doing here and there, which might be beneficial to the mwananchi, the common citizen, for them they have to scoop a loot from it. So for me, I'll say 99.999% they're doing things badly. Maybe the 0.00001% is where they're trying to do the best, or having the interest of mwananchi. But come 2027, we're going to smoke these people out, because we can't have an opposition leader right beside the president, following him wherever he goes, and singing from the same hymn. And it's so unfortunate, so absurd. But Kenyans are now awoke, and it's so unfortunate that someone like Ali Hassan Joho is saying such utterances in front of people, because I believe he should be a uniting factor in this country. Whenever Kenyans are complaining over something, you should take listen and correct things so that we can have a proper governance. But for them, it's their way or the highway, which is the wrong way of leading this country. You might think you're doing the right thing, but to the Kenyans, this is our country. You're just elected or appointed to lead us in some way, so you should listen to the people. Even if you have an agenda or a project you want to do, you must have public participation. And I saw on Sunday a man like Junet saying that you can't ask for permission from each and every institution, including public participation, always to come and ask for them for permission in whatever anything the government wants to do. I mean, the Constitution provides that element of law for the government to follow. So I believe public participation will continue to happen. And if you have the interest of the common mwananchi, why would you fear coming ahead to ask the opinion of the citizens, which I believe they are the ones to fund, not I believe, they are the ones to fund these projects. So you should always have the opinion in mind. It's not like we don't want development, but we want development done in the right way. So even if you want to develop this airport, JKIA, and each and every other airport, I believe you should do it in a proper way, follow the Constitution, follow the law, and always have the interest of the Kenyan people first. Don't go out looking for money, and money is here in this country. If you sit down with Kenyans, I believe you'll find ways. For example, for us to fund the JKIA development, the only thing you need to do, take the JKIA stocks to the NSE, Nairobi Stock Exchange, float the bonds for Kenyans to buy, and then after you achieve the money, if the money required was 200 billion, just like the Adani had disclosed, if we need 200 billion, float the bonds on the Nairobi Exchange. People will buy the bonds. Then you'll get the money, go develop the JKIA, then pay dividends. Kenyans will be earning dividends because JKIA is a profit-making institute. It always makes profit, never makes losses. Most of its checks and balances, losses are very minimal, while profits are out of the roof. So it will be money for the Kenyan people, and once Kenyan people will be getting the dividends, they will be spending the money here in this country. Hence, the expenditure will increase, because the dividends will be paid here, and the tax base will increase, because when you have a big expenditure from the Kenyan people, that increases the taxation base, and the government gets to collect more money. So I believe that's the best way of developing any institution or any project any government wants to do in this country. Just float the bonds on the NSE. Kenyans will buy the bonds. You get the money to develop the project you wanted to develop. Then after that, when the project starts to pay dividends, Kenyans will be paying dividends according to how you bought the bonds. You understand? So if you bought high bonds, you'll get more money. If you bought according to your capabilities, you get the dividends according to the way you bought the bonds. So I believe that's the way, and that's how you see the first world countries get to enjoy their money. They own their institutions. They don't sell it or lease it or give outsiders or foreigners to improve or to rebuild their their development facilities or infrastructures. For them, they do it themselves with their money, then they get paid dividends, and that's where you get to see people just getting money at the end of the month or a year, because they don't even need to work, because they're getting money. They invested in this infrastructure bonds, and right now they are just gaining dividends year in year out. And that's how you get to see people spending big in these first world countries while not working. Remember, while not working, because they invested like 2 years or 5 years or 10 years or 20 years ago. Now they're just earning dividends, and this one can always be passed to generations of your generation. So I believe that's the way to go, and it will be Kenyan money producing more money and being spent in this country. If you go for foreigners, they'll come with their money, and sometimes even they don't come with their money. Like Adani didn't come with their money, you know. They were coming to take our money in terms of taxation, and then add theirs just a little bit together with their investors, where they had the USA investors where they were caught that they were bribing people in the Indian government, and now they have a problem. So I believe we should avoid foreigners partnerships or foreigners money, so that we don't take our money outside, because when they come and invest in this country in whichever sum of money, they'll take the dividends later and go with it to their country, benefiting their country and their families and their generations. So that's a loss to us, because that's our money going out. But when you give these infrastructure bonds to Kenyans, then they buy them, then they'll be getting dividends year in, year out for the longest time possible. It will be the way forward. So I believe this PPP thing, we should you should abolish it, then go with this idea of using Kenyan money, because 200 billion is nothing. 200 billion is nothing. Kenya, if yearly we can raise 3 trillion or 3.5 trillion per year. So what is 200 billion, you know? And right now, I believe we have proper minds in terms of government, in terms of governance, and that's where I got this idea from people like Jimmy Onjigi, people like Okiom Tata, people like Wakili Willis Otieno, the Picky Ponky lawyer, and you know, that's the way to think. We should always think as first, never thinking of foreigners first. We don't need modern slavery. We just need our freedom, and believe in ourselves that we can do these things. And in case we need any partnership, the partnership should be favoring us, you know. Yeah, so that's what I think. For these leaders who are from ODM and entered the government, for sure they are a disgrace to the Kenyan people. Right now they are singing President Ruto's song like crazy. You know, it's like they are not thinking for themselves. They are like zombified with Ruto, just because of some little Kenyan currency cash over here in Kenya, and they're out of their minds, singing the same song in terms of policies with this rogue and you know, cruel president by the name William Ruto. But I believe come 2027 we shall vote them out. So if you have a family member or friend who is of age over 18 years old, they don't have an ID, they don't have a voter's card, make sure they get an ID, and then later on when the IBC will be constituted, make sure you get them registered as voters, so that we can eliminate this rogue and crook leadership that is leading this country as of today. So let me know your opinions, and I really appreciate. Big up yourselves, don't lose hope, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and stay vigilant, you know, stay woke, and let's keep on checking this government, and that's the way to go. So big up yourselves, and see you into the next one. Boom.
Kuna pepo chafu ya upingamizi, kupinga kila kitu. Kiwanda kama hii watu wanaipinga, affordable housing wanaipinga, chanjo ya ng'ombe kuondoa magonjwa wanaipinga, kubadilisha mfumo ndio tuweze kuokoa universities zetu ambazo zilikuwa zinakwama wanaipinga, kupinga hata miradi yoyote ya serikali. Mambo ya universal health coverage wanaipinga, mambo ya afya wanaipinga. Sasa mimi nauliza, hii pepo chafu, nafikiri hata imefika wanapinga hata matoleo kanisani. Jameni, what is this? Surely, yani pepo ya kupinga kila kitu.
You like me, why them a fight me? You like me, chewing a bone, a bite. You like me, chewing a bite. Don't like how I do. We don't trust them, even if we bust them. We don't trust them, stay far, not touch them. We don't trust them, hope their man not sub them. Informer, me say you must them.